Live from the internet, it's the Dr. Tom the Frog Show!
Hi-ho! This is Dr. Tom the Frog, and you're watching the Dr. Tom the Frog Show. This is probably the first time you're seeing this set, so I'm super excited that you get to see it. My production assistant monkey is pretty hard work at it. So we're going to talk about a tabletop RPG that's currently on Kickstarter with my good friend. How are you doing, Megan? How are you?
I'm great, Dr. Tom. Thanks for having me on your show.
Fantastic. Well, I'm super excited because you have a new game on Kickstarter right now as this episode is out. It is about Time Jello, right? Everyone has room for Jello.
Well, it's very close. It's actually Time Cellist.
Time Cellist?
Yes. Now, not everyone has room for cellists, but they are delicious.
You know, I've been meaning to play this game, but I can never seem to orchestrate it.
Oh, that's a good pun there, Tom.
Thank you. I have a crack team of writers. So what's this game, Time Cellist? I understand there's some cooties involved and also other games.
Yes. Well, it's actually a cootie catcher, which is another way of describing those little Chinese, or not Chinese, little fortune tellers that people would use when they were in grade school to sort of tell their futures. But Time Cellist is a game that is about a group of kids or teens. They're all friends, and they are recruited by a time-traveling, cello-playing superhero, the Time Cellist, to fight the evil maestro of maliciousness who is traveling back in time to screw up history and in that way aid his efforts to take over the world. So it's sort of a little bit like if you took the Goonies and you mixed it up with Doctor Who and had sort of a Scooby-Doo-esque adventure.
Oh, I like Scooby-Doo. He can talk like me. That's pretty awesome.
Yes, he is an excellent talking animal like yourself.
Thank you. This is the first release from Wheel Tree Press, right?
It is. We've got a couple of games that we have sort of in our pipeline, but this is the first one that we released for a Kickstarter. We also have a game called The Sword, the Crown, and the Unspeakable Power, which we are putting the finishing touches on as far as playtesting goes. That is a hack of Apocalypse World that's set in sort of a high fantasy, sort of Game of Thrones setting. So very different tonally from Time Cellist. So if you like Game of Thrones or things where there's a lot of sort of wheeling and dealing behind the seat of power, that is the game it's lovingly called SCUP because it's got a very long title, and that's the acronym. But that is my co-author on Time Cellist, Todd Nicholas, and another one of our friends, Tom Josephson. That is a game that they've written as part of Wheel Tree Press. So hopefully that'll be a Kickstarter in the future.
Yeah. Now I'm curious though. Couldn't you work in the cootie catcher? Like you could put the Lannisters and the Starks on different things and just kind of go crazy.
You could. There's absolutely nothing in SCUP that says you can't use cootie catchers or any children's games. It's just that the Apocalypse engine is what drives the action. So you could always add in a cootie catcher along with your 2d6.
Honestly, I have my head is buzzing with ideas for cootie catcher hacks. I'm note that down, Rogers. Okay, I've got a serious question for you, Megan. Are you ready for my serious question?
I am ready for your serious question.
All right. What is your favorite burlesque act that you've done, and why?
Yes. Well, for those of you who don't know, I also perform burlesque, which is why Dr. Tom is asking me this.
I'm a big fan.
My favorite burlesque act, well, I think for the costume alone, I do a nerdlesque act, which is Galactus, which I super like. I have a really big hat that I get to wear for that, which is super fun to like have on. But as far as like a traditional burlesque act, I also have an act that I use a giant confetti cannon in that's strapped to a big gun. It's sort of my tribute to the Beatles because happiness is a warm gun. So that one's really fun because I get to use a lot of stuff on stage that explodes. And explosions are always good to have on stage.
That's true. Wow, that's really great. Okay, Megan, I'm super excited that you went with Galactus because that's just the coolest. That's the coolest picture, and I could love that costume.
Hey, I get to eat the world on stage every time, which is it's definitely a fun thing to do.
Thank you so much. And again, we'll have a link to the Kickstarter, which is going on for just a couple more weeks. You should totally check it out. It's Time Cellist by Megan and Wheel Tree Press. And thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Dr. Tom. I had a great time.
You just watched the Dr. Tom the Frog Show, and we hope that you liked what you saw, yo. But if it was a big waste of your time, well, it's free, so that's not a crime. But if it was a waste of your time, yes, it's free, so that's not a crime.